Mabrika and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Taíno. Dr. Priscilla Colon, co-founder and creative here at Casareito, where our mission is to promote the Taíno language and culture. So what did I say right there? Dr. Priscilla Colon? I said I am Priscilla Colon, and that is what we're going to be covering during our episode today. During the video on Taíno resources, I covered this book. It's called Primario Básico del Taíno Boriquenaiki, and it means Basic Fundamentals of Boriquen's Taíno Language. That's the book that we'll be using as our resource today. And today we're going to be talking about personal pronouns and the verb to be. Now, don't get scared if you're not into grammar, you don't remember the grammar terms, no worries, you don't need to know any of that. I'll cover everything very basically so that you understand and can get speaking right away. And at the end, you'll be able to participate in a really short conversation. So let's get started. So the personal pronouns that we're going to be covering today are the singular ones. That is when you're speaking about yourself or to or about one person. And they are as follows. I, which is dak in Taíno. You, the informal version when you're speaking to a friend, someone your age, and that is buk. You, the formal version, that is when you're speaking, let's say, to someone who's much older, a respected elder, that is guahotik. He, which is lik, and she, which is tuk. Now the verb to be is the one that you use when you say I am, you are, he, she, is. And that describes either a permanent or a temporary state. What do I mean by that? It describes who or what someone is, whether all the time or sometimes. So I could say I am a woman or I am a teacher. In Taíno, the verb to be is tocar. Now that you know the personal pronouns and the verb tocar, you can put them together. But let's go over some rules first. The first rule is that the pronouns go before the verb. So just like in English, you say I am, you are, you will see the dak, I, before the verb tocar. The second rule is that we add an apostrophe to separate the pronoun and the verb. And the final rule is actually really cool. The verb conjugations, or the forms of the verbs, don't change. So you know how in English you have to say I am, you are, he is. You always have to change the verb. In Taíno, you don't. It's always tocar. So let's take a look at how that works. And it's super simple. I am, dak tocar. You are, informal, buk tocar. You are, formal, guahotik tocar. He is, lik tocar. She is, tuk tocar. Now I'm going to show you how simple it is for you to describe yourself or other people using what we've just learned and vocabulary from our previous videos. And you'll also be learning a couple of new words. So let's get started. Dak tocar bibi, which means I am a mother. Notice that I don't have to add a or an before the noun. Dak tocar tekina. I am a teacher. Now let's use the informal you when you're speaking to someone who is your age or a friend. Buk tocar guaitiao. You are a friend. Buk tocar rokotara. You are a student. Now let's say you are when speaking in a formal tone. Let's say to an elder. Guahotik tocar Taíno. You are Taíno. Guahotik tocar bohique. You are a healer. Now if you joined us for our last video, you know this guy. He was a chief, aguibana. So let's describe him. Lik tocar cacique. He is chief. Lik tocar aguibana. He is aguibana. If you've watched previous videos, you're also very familiar with this chief, Anacaona. So let's describe her. Tuk tocar cacique. She is chief. Tuk tocar anakaona. She is anakaona. So, now that you know I am, you are, he, and she is, you are ready for a short conversation. Trust me, you have acquired so much Taino vocabulary to this point. You can describe yourself using some of the vocab we've learned, and you can describe other people. So you ready for this? Let's take a look. Taigwe, dakto ka Priscilla.
Taigwe, dakto ka Eliezer.
Bukto ka Taino.
Han, dakto ka Taino.
Tukto ka anakaona.
Ua, likto ka Agüebana. Likto ka Cacique.
Taikaraya guaitiao.
Taikaraya.
Wasn't that cool? And don't worry if you didn't get it the first time around. Just go back a little bit and you can watch the subtitles underneath. But I swear, you've learned so much at this point. You'll be able to recreate your own conversations using everything that you've learned so far. So let's take a look at everything you know. So during this session, we learned dak, I, dakto ka, I am, buk, informal you, bukto ka, informal you are, guahotik, formal you, guahotikto ka, formal you are, lik, he, likto ka, he is, tuk, she, tukto ka, she is. We also learned two new words, tekina, teacher, rokotara, student. We also reviewed all of these other words. Han, yes. Wa, no. Taino, taigwe, good day. Taikaraya, good night. Cacique, chief or chiefess. Bohique, shaman, spiritual leader or healer. Guaitiao, friend. Bibi, mother. Mabrika, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Taino. Dakto ka Priscilla Colon, co-founder and creative here at Casareito. Now, you've already learned how to say I am, you are, he, she, is. We've gone over it many, many times, but we haven't learned how to say we are, you are plural, they are. So that is what we're going to be talking about today. So first, let's take a look at the plural forms of the personal pronouns. We, guac, you, when you are talking to a group of people, and this you could be used for formal or informal settings. So when talking to a group of friends or when talking to a group of elders. And this is huk, they, when talking to a group of males, nak, they, when talking to a group of females, hak, or they, when talking to a mixed group of males and females, nahak. So here at Casareito, we are all about diversity, equity, and inclusion. And I got a wonderful comment from one of our viewers, Chris the Witch, and she asked very beautifully about which personal pronoun we should use with those of us in our community who consider themselves non-gendered or who are maybe dual-gendered, or in our Native American communities, they may be called two-spirits. And of course, we want to respect everyone. We want to ask them what they would like to be called. That's not key, right? Number one. But I thought that since we are revitalizing, recreating our language, I think this is the great opportunity we have to also be very inclusive. In many American English or Oxford English, British English dictionaries, they tend to be using the plural they when somebody does not want to be given a gendered pronoun. So I think this is an opportunity for us to also use the non-gendered they, nahak, as a way to allow people to not be constricted to choose between either gender. So now that you know the plural versions of the personal pronouns, you can put them together with the verb toca, to be, and say that we are, you are, etc. So let's go quickly through the list, and then we're going to do a couple of sentences. We are, guac toca. You are, plural form for formal and informal, huk toca. They are, for males, nak toca. They are, for females, hak toca. They are, for all genders or no gender, nahak toca. So now that you know those, I bet you're raring to go and you want to put them into sentences, but one second. Now you need to know how to create plural nouns, because you need to know if we are teachers, you need to know how to say teachers. You've only learned the singular teacher. So the formula is super simple. In Taino, you just take the noun, you add the word part nagu, and then that makes the plural noun. So I'll give you a few examples. Bibi is mother. Bibi nagu, mothers. Baba, you know, is father. Baba nagu, fathers. You see how easy that is? You got the formula, right? So let's do the next one. Tekina, teacher. Tekina nagu, teachers. Rokotara, student. Rokotara nagu, students. Guaitiao, friend. You're very familiar with that one, right? So let's put it together and make the plural. Guaitiao nagu. Now that you know the plural nouns, we can put them together and create sentences. So we'll go through a couple of sentences so you get the idea. So let's try this first one out. I want to say, we are mothers. So we start with guac toca. We know that means we are. And now we want to make mothers. That is, bibi nagu. Put it together and you have guac toca, bibi nagu. We are mothers. Let's say I want to say, you are students. Huk toca, you are. And then rokotara, nagu, students. Put it together. Huk toca, rokotara, nagu. You are students. Let's say I want to say, they are fathers. Nak toca, they are. Baba nagu, fathers. Put them together. Nak toca, baba nagu. They are fathers. What if I want to say that a group of females are teachers? So they are hak toca, and then teachers is tekina nagu. Put them together. Hak toca, tekina nagu. They are teachers. Now, what if I'm referring to a group of mixed males and females together? Nahak toca. Guaitiao nagu is friends. Put them together. Nahak toca, guaitiao nagu. They are friends. Now, if you're using nahak, they are, as a gender-neutral option when referring to only one person, you don't have to change the noun to a plural form. So I'll show you how that works. Nahak toca, you see that? They are. Guaitiao, singular form of friend. So put it together. Nahak toca, guaitiao. They are a friend. So that was pretty straightforward, right? Let's take one more look at everything you've learned. Guac, we. Guac toca, we are. Huk, you, plural, formal, and informal. Huk toca, you are. Nak, they, males. Nak toca, they are. Hak, they, females. Hak toca, they are. Nahak, they, all or no gender. Nahak toca, they are. But you also learn how to make the plural forms of all the nouns you could possibly think of. It's super simple. Let's take a look at some of the plural nouns that you learned today. Bibi nagu, mothers. Baba nagu, fathers. Tekina nagu, teachers. Rokotara nagu, students. Guaitiao nagu, friends. But the fact is, with this lesson, you learned a whole lot more. Now you can make plural forms of any noun, including all of these other ones that you've already learned. So today, I thought I would sign off with a little bit of the phrases and sentences that we learned today. Guaktoka, guaitiao nagu. We are friends. Taikaraya, guaitiao nagu. Good night, friends.